And Anderson, I must say, this book is such a page turner. It's fascinating not only about this incredible family that at the height of its fortune controlled one every US economy, but I also thought it was really interesting as a history of New York City from its earliest years as a Dutch colony through the Gilded Age and, right up until now. So first of all, congratulations.
Thank you. That's so sweet of you. Yeah, thank you. That's, when I decided to do this, I didn't want it to be a sort of a conventional, history of the business, the businesses of Commodore Vanderbilt. And there's obviously some remarkable authors who have written, books. T.J. Stiles wrote an amazing book on Cornelius Vanderbilt, that won the Pulitzer. But I just wanted it really to be kind of a human story about who these people were at key moments in their lives, and kind of things you don't necessarily get about them from the history book.
But you say that as you were growing up, when you were the son of the most famous Vanderbilt of her era, Gloria Vanderbilt, but that when people would ask you about being a Vanderbilt, you would say, I'm not, I'm a Cooper. Your father came from a very different background, the rural South. What made you finally, at this point in your life, decide that you really wanted to explore this family history?
I mean, I think it was a couple of things. One, just, I'm 54 now. I really never expected to live this long because my dad died at 50. I kind of always thought I wouldn't be around this long. But I certainly feel like I've passed the hurdle of, working hard and kind of creating a name and a career for myself. That was something that was a big concern for me when I was little, about how people viewed me, and I didn't want to be viewed as as a member of the Vanderbilt family. It was just not something that I thought was a good idea. And I could see how it sort of, when people knew, I could see how they treated me differently than when they didn't know, even in just weird little tiny subtle ways. I worked as a waiter one summer at a society restaurant in New York called Mortimer's. And I was far too young to be a waiter, but the owner of it knew my mom, and I used to eat there with my mom often. And when I was a waiter there, I served people who I had eaten with when I was with my mom, and they didn't recognize me when I was their waiter. And they treated me very, very differently than they did when I was sitting at the table with them. They knew who my mom was. So to me, that was sort of in a microcosm, sort of all my concerns wrapped up into one. And also having a son, I really wanted to I didn't know what I would talk to him, how I would explain to him the strange background that that is far in his past or in the family's past. And I wanted him to kind of understand why things are the way they are, and why there's not a big family around him. And, he won't know his grandmother. He won't know my dad. But through this book, I kind of wanted it to be a letter for him about that family, if and when he wants to learn about them.